Good morning, everybody, to a lot of people that is coming from abroad. Euskaraz eginen dut gure...
I'm going to introduce my panel in Basque, because above all, we want our mother tongue to have its place in this Congress. So welcome to all of you. Welcome to this event where we've been speaking about new technologies. We've seen how there's a whole new world opening up ahead of us, and it's here to stay. But it's important to know where we want to go, and that's what we're going to be talking about in this panel session. We talk about a future that we want to be sustainable. And in fact, the leitmotif or the logo of our Congress spoke about development, sustainability, and also values. We spoke about values yesterday. And in the panel today, with the guests that we have here, we're going to also talk about these three areas. In Tknika, the Deputy Ministry for Vocational Training has a new challenge, which is to give a certain amount of colour to our vocational education training using different tones of colour and different multidisciplinary areas, and do that by building projects in a different way. We want to build a new world, and we want our students and our teachers, our learners, to have different skills in different fields. Fields that today are actually still unknown. We need to know what we have to do, but also how we should work. And that's what our guests and people that work alongside Tknika are going to be talking about. We've got about an hour and a half to 2 hours to talk about this subject. And I'm going to just say a few words about the final word that you can see up on the screen, humanity or mankind. This is a word which unfortunately is used less and less frequently. People talk less and less about mankind, about people, about humanity, and yet in this section we want to talk about that. Of course, in the future we're going to be using technology, but it'll be people-centered technology. And when we talk about sustainability, because of course we want to protect our planet, we want to show the future generations that we need to leave them heritage. They need to leave them a good earth. And so I'm now going to say thank you to the three people that are coming to talk to us this morning, because they've collaborated with Tknika, with different VET schools, with different learners to promote these values: development, sustainability, and humanity. So that's our panel. We're going to be talking about development, but of a sustainable fashion and aimed at mankind. And firstly, we'll be talking about the field of development. It's really important to know where we're heading, what new technologies are out there. Yesterday, artificial intelligence was spoken about. We don't know how far we're going to go with artificial intelligence, but we should never forget where we've come from, what we've learned from previous generations. And if we talk about catering, nowadays we talk about natural products from marine environments, and there are new areas in gastronomy emerging. There are many star-studded restaurants in the Basque Country. Basque catering and Basque food is known around the world in very, very short space of time. We've moved from cooking using the naked flame in your home to a situation in which we don't have breakfast at home. We certainly don't have lunch at home. We sometimes have dinner at home with our children. But that's led to an economic revolution. And the VET students that come to us need to be prepared to respond to what society needs today. It's a new way of working.
As I said before, now there are new institutions, legislations, and educational plans in which we speak about the circular economy. And society has to be based on a circular economy. There are different projects that work in this way. And yes, it's a trend now to talk about the circular economy. Our parents and grandparents use this kind of economy. And as Diego has just said, our children live in a linear economy. They purchase and use products and then they throw them away. That's the way, or they do things than the way we've taught them to do them. But it's also very important to understand where we come from and to be aware of how new industries have been developed. We need to know how we use our natural resources. We started to work on circular economy with a working group. We work with fisheries, different food industries, and amongst all, we generated a network to provide value to the country's products. It was a wonderful project because different professional families worked together. We had students and that from a catering school, for example, that went to see how these products were generated in the different agricultural sites. And all of the industries have also had the opportunity of understanding how the circular economy works. We've also generated a platform based on a circular economy. And in this platform, we will develop projects between the different professional families, because for the future, and as we will be seeing now, the natural resources are finite resources, and sometimes the waste that we generate can be used. It can be reused as a way of getting other products through them. So we are teaching this to our students, and they learn through the projects. We have been focusing on this since last year, and in the next school year, different professional families will work in interdisciplinary projects to learn about the circular economy.
Gure arlo berri honetan.
We're moving on to biosciences and sustainability, and we're going to move on to talk about another field of work. We already mentioned this earlier. We mentioned the tremendous technological development, and what sort of way does that affect us, especially when we talk about aging? And actually, to talk about aging today, we're going to hear from Eduardo from VOCATIONAL. He's going to talk about another major challenge. We've heard people talk about the new era brought by technology to catering, to gastronomy. We've heard from the circular economy, the kind of activities that may emerge. And in this case, we're going to be talking about figures from Guipúzcoa, from the Basque Country. They're going to talk about the population that we have and how we can meet the needs of this population and how technology can improve people's lives. We're trying to work on that area. These are technological families, industrial ones, but they also work in the social field. these projects that on many occasions are just sometimes left in a drawer in a person's desk, but we want to bring them to the light and see how technology can improve the lives of the aged. How a person can feel better and how they can change their mood even. We've had this experience here in San Sebastian because with different VET schools in Guipúzcoa, well, we've set up what we call a supportive VET. We're going to be organizing an event aimed at different generations to see what subjects people in the aged have with the youngsters. And people spoke about loneliness. We saw older people coming to us with special needs, and they spent some time with the students, with the learners at our VET schools. They all came together around a table to talk about different common issues, to see how they felt when they spoke about these subjects, to how they could bear their souls, really. But then we didn't just talk about the youngsters and old people, but also old people with youngsters, the other way around. It was a very enriching event that we organized. People spoke about technology, about loneliness and different issues that we have to face together and that we need to try to find a solution for.
And here we have some of the main objectives that we mentioned yesterday, which are the SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals. And here we also see the world to the right. And Vanessa yesterday said that we have people from 57 different countries in this international vocational education and training conference. 58 if we count the Basque Country. We now have a common objective. Jorge mentioned this yesterday. We should all think, reflect, feel, do, and train. Those are our roots, our foundations. We've talked about different technologies, different actions, and the way in which we could use all of these different technologies. Now all of these are in our hands, and it is us, the ones that have to decide what we want to do, but mainly how we want to do it. So we've brought together in this conference people from several countries. And in the Basque Country, in the different centers, we're also working on specific challenges. We have projects that are really interesting. Some of them are just left there, but we need to continue working on them because the world can be changed through small actions. In the year 2015, we talked about these 17 sustainable development goals that bring together citizens from all countries. Some have to do with attention to people, others have to do with trade, and so on and so forth. But we all have the objective of trying to make the most of these goals and obtaining these goals to be able to improve the world. Here we also have all the different professional families present, those that work in manufacturing, advanced manufacturing, energy, water, trade, graphic arts, administration, management, catering, fishing, food industries, social services, personal image. So amongst all, we make up vocational education and training, and that is our aim, to provide training so that with that training And with technology, we're able to change the lives of citizens, but also having the possibility of changing the world. I started my presentation with a term. I talked about humanity and the human side of things. And there's also another term that we don't use a lot, and that is being humble. And today I would like to finish this panel and this conference in a very humble way. First of all, I would like to thank all the students and teachers that work in vocational education and training. And to do that, we've prepared a video, so I hope that you enjoy it. Thank you. You teach us that technology can improve the lives of people, help them in their daily life with new and better apps for them to be more autonomous. You teach us that technology brings us together and brings us closer to those we love. We learn to design devices that can take care of us, with apps that can help us improve our health, providing us a future with more hope. We've learned that technology can be useful in many ways. It even brings us closer that are not with us anymore. But sometimes what you need is not a brilliant mind that talks to you, but a heart that can listen to you. Technology will get you noticed, but the heart will allow you to go beyond.